Every day in America, 10,000 baby boomers retire and start drawing Social Security, which is pretty scary. But that's not the scary part for the corporations that are trying to run a business today. So every day, 10,000 baby boomers retire, and corporations are trying to actively replace those 10,000. If you do the math, I think my math is right, but every second, that's 7 people. And so it's a huge workforce that's well-trained, experienced. They didn't job hop nearly as much as what the millennials are reportedly doing today. So the companies are very concerned about this. They want to figure out, how do we take care of this issue, replacing a seasoned, trained workforce with a high-tech workforce that probably wants to jump ship every 3 to 4 years if they're not going to be developed. So one of the companies out there did a really in-depth study, and they tried to find out what are the important factors that a millennial wants in their employer. And one of the, there was 4 that came out, but one of the key ones we're going to talk about tonight is a coaching environment. The millennials want to be developed. They want to have a coaching environment in their employer. And if they don't find it with this employer, that leads them to look for opportunities elsewhere. So how do you go about, you know, people ask me, when I do this presentation, people ask, how do you go about creating a coaching environment? And there's, you know, the other question that really comes up is, does this mean that we don't need to be managers and leaders? Are we getting rid of all that and we're all just going to be kind of a loosey-goosey coaching environment and everything's great? And that's not the case. We still need managers, we still need leaders. People need to be led. We need to have a vision statement, a direction to go when times are tough. We need the leader to provide direction as to where we're going and how we're going to get there. We also need to manage things. Processes, accounts receivable, accounts payable, purchasing, inventory, equipment still needs to be managed. But the coaching environment and how it differs from just being a leader and a manager, there's 2 differences, two key components. There's a lot, but there's 2 key components. And the one really important component of coaching versus leadership and management is that a coaching environment is all about the individual that's being coached. It's their me time. It doesn't involve, I don't want to say it doesn't completely involve anything outside of what they're trying to do within the corporation or within the business, but it's more about what they need, what's their strengths and how they can exploit those strengths, what's their weaknesses or what's holding them back, how they can overcome those and work through them. And so that's one real important component of it. The other component of a coaching environment that has to be there, should be there for leadership and management, doesn't necessarily have to be, and a lot of times isn't, but the component of a high level of trust and vulnerability. When you have a coach and a person being coached, they have to be able to trust each other deeply and be able to be vulnerable. Not many of us feel comfortable walking into our boss's office when everything's going chaos and the phones are ringing and emails are going, you got meetings coming up and all this chaos is going on. You say, hey boss, you know, I'm really not feeling it today. I really just don't feel like prospecting. You know, I've been getting a lot of rejection and, you know, I just kind of feel like just giving up on trying to call up on these customers. You know, sales is really tough today. You just probably won't do that. You're not going to be that vulnerable with your supervisor when there's all the other aspects that are going on. You know they have a lot on their plate. And if you're a baby boomer, you're definitely not going to do that because that's not in our nature. It was to keep a tough, you know, stiff upper lip and get out there and get the job done. So that trust and vulnerability is tough to achieve. You know, people also ask, can I create a coaching environment without external coaches? Now, as an external hired coach, I would always want to say no. But the answer, of course, it's your company. You can do whatever you want. You can incorporate a coaching environment in your sales team and in your company. The one key element that you need to have is if you're going to incorporate a coaching element in your business, is that when you're coaching, you're just coaching. You're not there to do, you know, their annual review or to tell them, you know, they got some paperwork that they need to do. They need to fill out their customer, their CRM, you know, they need to fill out their Salesforce reports or anything like that. Just coaching. Stay in the coaching process. That will allow the vulnerability. The minute you snap them back into, yeah, but you need to get taken care of accounts receivable because they're on me and I really need you to do that. The minute you do that, it breaks that trust, that vulnerability moment, and you slip back into the manager supervisor role. So I encourage you to go out and try to create this environment for the retention of the millennial generation that's coming through, to get ready for that, and also, more importantly, for the engagement of your team. People that are being coached realize that somebody's out there trying to take care of me. My corporation, my company is trying to help me succeed and do better. And so I encourage you to try to create this environment. Start small. There's a lot of material out there. There's a lot of people out there that can help you, but create the environment and enjoy the success. Thank you.